Hi, Ken.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to see you. Um, we've got Chelsea here who will be your buyer,
Awesome.
and
Again.
Hi.
we're gonna have 30 minutes here today together. I'll give you a heads up when we're at 20 minutes so that it'll give you about a minute to wrap up, and then we'll give you some feedback for the last 10 minutes.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna drop off here and let you start.
Let me get your screen up. Just 1 second. All right. Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Ken at with CS Robinson. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Can you hear me all right over the speaker here?
I can.
All right. So we spoke over the phone. You must be Mrs. Hopper Hoover.
Yep, that's me.
All righty. So is it okay with you while we're speaking if I kind of take notes so I don't miss any of your points or any of your concerns?
Yep, that's fine.
All right, so you might see me occasionally just looking down, just so.
Okay,
So,
thank
all right. How long have you been with the company with Heavy Hauler?
I've been here for 5 years.
5 years? Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. And I saw on the website that you guys are hiring. So is the business been doing well so far?
Yeah, so far so good. We are always hiring drivers just because you know how demand is right now. It's there's a shortage of drivers, and so we're always looking for drivers.
That's great to hear. Well, since this is our first meeting today, I just wanted to let you know quickly that I left my contact information in the email that I used to send you to invite to this meeting. Should you
Okay.
have any question afterward, please feel free to reach out to me, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, so before we get started today, is there anyone else who should be here with us today to move our decision process forward?
I do run past a lot of these if we were to make any bigger changes within what we're doing right now currently, I would want to bring my CEO into that conversation.
Mhm.
But I am at liberty to make certain decisions regarding our freight.
That's awesome. So if you need to schedule further appointment, we can do that afterward too.
Okay.
All right. So I just want to start off by quickly saying thank you for taking the time to meet me today. I do know that your time is valuable. So if you don't mind, what I would like to do now is take the initiative and kind of set like a course of action so we can both benefit from today's meeting. Is that all right with you?
Yep, that's great.
Alrighty. So what I would like to do is get to know, build off what I already know about heavy haulers, get to learn more about you and your position and your current situation. Hopefully from there, we can figure out the opportunity as well as the challenges that the company may be facing. Then what I would like to do then is transition a little bit and talk about CS Robinson, who we are, what our services are, and how we can potentially come up with and provide you with a solution to overcome some of those challenges that you may be facing. Is that and if everything makes sense from there, then we can move on to the next step. Is that sounds like good use of your time today?
Yes,
All right, thank you so much. So just to start us off today, I understand that your main hub is in Tigard, Oregon. Is that still the case?
that's correct.
All righty. So then, could you then please tell me a little bit more about your position as a fleet manager at Heavy Haulers? For example, like what is your role at the company and what are your daily tasks?
Sure. Yeah. So I manage two of our dispatcher. We have two full-time dispatchers right now that oversee our loads. We have 100 tractor trailers currently. We're only using about 60 of those. We have a certain amount of dedicated loads per week. So I'm basically working as a liaison between managing the dispatchers and then also taking information to my CEO and president as far as making decisions with our logistics goes. So
Oh, I see. So is like then each dispatcher, you said you are working with currently two dispatcher, right?
yeah,
And
we
you
have two
have,
dispatchers that we have hired full time.
oh, I see. So are they like having like 30 truck from each person? Is that how you can split it or is that more?
So we have about 50 guaranteed loads per week. So yeah, it would be about 25 each per week, if not more. We might have 60 loads. We have 60 drivers right now, so we really try to fill 60 loads a week, but we have a guaranteed 50 at the time.
I see. So so then what is the most important to you as a fleet manager in this line of business?
For me, and that's a good question. I mean, I'd like to make sure we're most efficient, but also filling our jobs and making sure we're keeping these trucks rolling, keeping our drivers with work to do. Like I said, it's hard to get a driver in the first place. And so once we get them, I don't want to lose them because we don't have loads for them. So we have about 10 drivers right now that aren't guaranteed a load every single week. So that's kind of, that's a pain point for me. It's where I'm worried about that. I want to make sure that we're giving them jobs to do. And then just the overall efficiency of my dispatchers, they are tracking everything. They're constantly on the phone with our truck drivers. So they're on the phone, they're tracking through an Excel spreadsheet, keeping our customers up to date. So, I just want to make sure we're being efficient with that time as well. And also, saving the company money. So we have to make money too with what we're doing.
Absolutely, I understand that. And just to kind of build off the prospect there, how have you been getting new customers or prospects so far? Do they usually come to you guys first, or do you have to go out and look for them?
Yeah, I'm not really involved on the sales side, but I just oversee the dispatch. So whatever is given to us, that goes into our dispatchers, and then we plan it from there. So no, we're not really going out and seeking out. I'm not going out personally and seeking out new customers. That would be the sales side of our company. So
I see.
We have some long-standing customers that have been our bread and butter. 2 of them, particularly down in the California area. So that's been great to keep our business moving.
All right. So then just to build off that, I just wanted to know maybe the routes that you take, because I know that you're in Tigard and you're strictly basically off I-5. And you just mentioned earlier that 2 of your biggest customers in California. Is that kind of like the route that you guys mostly on in California? I mean, I'm sorry, on I-5?
Yeah, that's correct. We are mostly on I-5. One of our customers is down in the Sacramento area. And as I mentioned, we do 25 loads there to Sacramento per week. And then we have a backhaul that we do where we fill in Sacramento with our other customer, and we deliver half of that load in California, and then the other half we deliver to Medford. So we do kind of a partial truck, full truck when we load, but we partial it back up to Medford, and then it's an empty truck.
I see. Then just to be off a little bit about that, do you often find your trucks, as you mentioned earlier, you drop half the load and go to the next part, so it's kind of like empty truck at the end? Is there like a long wait time between each routes to get the truck filled, or do you always find it constantly just moving?
Well, if it's our guaranteed backhaul, from Sacramento, yes. But most of the time we're sending trucks empty back from Medford.
I see.
To get them back up here to Tigard. And we need those trucks back up here. And then we rehaul them back down to California.
All right. So mainly just basically Oregon to California. Alrighty.
Basically, yeah, up and down I-5, yeah.
Oh, that's fine. And then just based on the trucks a little bit, do you what size trucks do you guys have multiple truck size? So do you specialize in like certain truck size, or?
No, I mean, since we're mostly going into California, we only have 48-footer, trucks, just full regular 48. They are vans, refrigerated vans.
Okay.
And yeah, so we have 100 of those tractor trailers.
Oh, awesome.
With the refrigerator units on them. And we don't get into maxis or anything like that because we go down into California. So
okay. And then now I just want to learn a little bit about your payment procedures with your dispatch and whatnot there. So how do your driver usually get paid? What is the process?
The drivers get paid when we do the routes. So we pay them after after the load is completed, typically by check.
Typically, and how long does that procedure takes?
It could take about up to maybe a week. We look for the signed bill of ladings, make sure there's no issues with the deliveries, and then they get paid once their load is complete.
Was there any type of complaint from the truckers that they're not receiving the money fast enough, or that's not have been an issue in any way?
Well, drivers like to get paid, they want to get paid when they do their load. So, no, it's not, kind of how things are moving in business. It's pretty fast, but it's still by check. So whatever delay that might be of several days.
That's fine. And then just, I asked you earlier about your personal goal as a fleet manager for this line of business. Is there any differences in the goal of your business? Is there any main goal that you guys set for the year, like increase trucker or increase value? What is the goal for the business?
We don't have any really set for the year. We just want to make sure that we're, maintaining our shipment volume. We'd love to grow. We have this huge gap of, 40 trucks in our fleet that aren't being used. So ultimately, it would be great to have all of those filled. Can we get them filled? It's difficult because maybe we'd get the lanes and the business, but then maybe we want to have the drivers that we need. So it's a constant balancing act, it feels like. But yeah, long term, we just want to, be efficient and make sure as a small business, we're not losing out to these bigger businesses, because that's another thing is just overhead is high and, paying our drivers. So we want to make sure we're giving our customer the best rate and remaining competitive so that we don't lose these loads, at least, especially the guaranteed loads that we do every week.
Awesome. So, Chelsea, from what it sounds like to me, if I understand this correctly, it sounds like you want to, your biggest goal as a company is to be able to fill those trucks, that 40 trucks that are sitting there, be able to fill those loads, find new truckers, and then basically guarantee them a job. So they're not looking for, afraid of looking for a job. And then you also want to increase efficiency for your dispatcher, say they're always on the phone, always work on a paper sheet. On online Excel sheet and things like that. You want to increase that efficiency. Am I understanding correctly?
That's correct.
Awesome. And so I just want to quickly ask you then, are you familiar with us, C.S. Robinson at all, or have you heard of us in the past on who we are?
I've only kind of heard about what we discussed on the phone prior to setting up this meeting.
Awesome. So is it okay with you if I quickly reintroduce our company and kind of give you a recap of who we are and what we do?
Yeah.
All right. So C.S. Robinson, we are one of the biggest third-party logistic company in the world. We have close to 16,000 employees that's operating worldwide. Our mission is to improve world transportation and supply chain while delivering exceptional value to both our customers and suppliers. So when you work with C.S. Robinson, one of the biggest positives that would immediately help you is you get an access to millions of shipments annually. And you also get the support team that we have to offer. With that being said, we also the owner of the best technology available in the industry called Navisphere, which is it's like a global platform where our customer and our carrier have access to, and we are all into one big platform. We are all going to see slightly different things, but it's one platform. So with the Navisphere, you can do things like optimizing routes, eliminate paperwork, improve the cash flow, and much more. And with that being said, do you have any questions so far for me?
No. It just sounds like a lot,
No, absolutely. So what I would like to do is kind of get you back, answer your questions there and see how we can help you with your situation here. So with the fuel load, yes, as you mentioned earlier, you have 100 trucks. Yes. 50 of those are guaranteed. So you're missing a good 50% of your guarantee of your available trucks. So I assume with the 10 driver, extra per se, they're afraid of losing their job there. So you might lose those 10 drivers, and it's hard to get new drivers, like you said. So if you have no guaranteed loads for them to carry all the time, to basically get them a job, they won't be, attracted to working for you. Is that right? So then what would it mean for you if you can kind of come up with the solution for you and always be able to keep your trucks moving, guarantee work for all your truckers, basically?
I mean, that would be great if we could utilize all the trucks that we currently have,
Right. So as mentioned earlier, working with C.H. Robinson, we are one of the biggest company in the world. We have thousands and thousands established customers, and we work with them, on a daily basis, the carrier and the customers. With that being said, we can always guarantee your truck always being, always moving. As long as you have the truckers available to drive those trucks, you always have the loads to carry. That's our promise to you. And then with the mention of Navisphere and whatnot, we can also optimize your truckload and your routes. So you were mentioning earlier that you come back empty from Milford to Oregon to your hub. So basically, we can always make sure something is always moving, something is always carrying. That will increase your overall revenue and increase overall pay for your drivers. So it's always a big positive for both of us.
What's the catch?
We are a third-party logistic company, so obviously we have to be making money in some way. So that is the catch. We do take a percentage of your load, and I negotiate between you and the customer. So that is the catch.
Okay.
Other than that,
customer setting up their load through you.
So I mentioned about Navisphere, which is the global platform for us. So what happened is with the Navisphere, the carrier and the supplier have access to that. So from a carrier side, specifically, you can do things like posting your truck available trucks on your on the application, so that way they can always see what trucks are available. And then they do go through us, and then we negotiate price and stuff. But you will be able to see the available load. You have it full-time access to our application, and you'll be able to see available loads to our application. Also, with that being said, just a little side note here, a little bit positive for you. We do have a carrier advantage programs, which basically every company that work with us is automatically enrolled, and it is based on performance. So if your drivers always, do the right job, do a good job, always on time, deliver perfectly, things like that, we do give you extra bonus on certain things, like earlier access to our flights, which is a big deal. It sounds like a big deal to you guys to be able to have the best flight, the most optimized flight to you, to be able to transfer and make sure our truck is always running.
Mm-hmm. I see.
And then just mention a little bit of efficiency that you talked to us about, your dispatcher having to call on the phone all the time and having to do the paperwork. On the Navisphere app, you can do there are things that you can do to create that efficiency and give more time for your dispatcher to focus on things. For example, on the Navisphere, we basically have excuse me, we basically have a thing that is like almost like a GPS. If the customer allow us to basically download the application on his phone and allow us to track him, we will be able to see where he is on the map and where he's stopping and whatnot. That way, the customer can also see their load, where it is.
I don't know if my drivers would like that.
That's totally fine. It is a way to create trust and efficiency. We can start off by just working with us the normal way you are. We can always give you a call. We usually do every 4 hours check up. We'll give you a call, say, hey, is everything all right? Are you still on your way? Is there any problems? Are there any traffic? Things like that. You can work that way with us, create that trust. And if your driver start to trust us more, and then he can decide to use our application and then, be more efficient so he doesn't have to receive a call every 4 hours, because I could imagine driving and receiving a call could get annoying.
Yeah. A lot of our drivers are kind of older, old school, and they don't really like being checked on. I mean, the EDL regulations that came out is hard for us to transition to, where they're already tracking their hours constantly. So it's just that's kind of concerns me. I worry that they wouldn't want to be tracked. But if it's optional, then that's
Yeah,
good.
absolutely. We understand that a lot of truckers are older folks and they like to stick to the basically pre-technology. So that way, what I mentioned earlier, we want to create trust with everybody, with the driver, with the carrier, with the customer. We share that to show them that we are a partnership and you're not working for us. We are a partner. So we'll work with you in whatever way we can to satisfy both of our needs. Is there any other questions that you may have for me, Chelsea, that I could answer you?
Well, you know, is this something that we have to do all of our loads through CH Robinson? Obviously, that's a big decision. I don't think I would be able to make.
Right.
I don't know how my dispatchers would feel about this, and they probably worry about their jobs if we put everything into a computer app. You know, is there a need for them anymore? And so those are kind of the things I'm thinking right now.
That's totally fine. So one of the best thing about working with CH Robinson is that even though you're a contract carrier, you can choose how many loads and how many trucks you want to work with us. As I mentioned earlier, we do have a carrier program, advantage program. So basically, the more you work with us, the more benefits you gain, but it is all totally optional. You can also even break contract with us and not pay a thing. It's totally free. Like I said, we're a partner. We're not here to, control you in any way. We're a partnership. We're here to work and gain and create that trust with you. So there is no fee for terminating contract. You are not obligated to use all your trucks on your contract. If you do, great. If you don't, that is fine with us. But do know that you do have a lot of access to our application once you sign with us, and you will be able to see all our loads and our customers available for you at your fingertip. And we're confident that you and the management that you'll be talking to will be comfortable using us as the main way to move the loads.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a 1 minute wrap up here.
All right. Is it okay with you if I set a quick appointment on next Thursday? Maybe we can get the ball rolling then and get a contract right up.
Okay. Yeah, I can't guarantee a contract, but we can definitely set up a call for next Thursday. If you would just send me your information, maybe I could put it in front of my CEO for him to review and discuss it with my dispatchers. Maybe if you could just follow up with me next week about that.
That's totally fine, Chelsea.
Yeah.
How about I give you a follow-up call, and then we'll set up an appointment that's convenient for both of us, hopefully this week, so we can get the ball rolling.
Okay, that would be great.
All right. Thank you so much, Chelsea, for your time.
Okay,
It was nice to meet you.
Thanks, Ken.
Okay. Ken, nice job. We're going to have you hang out on the line here, and we'll give you some feedback in a minute or two.
Thank you.
Hey, Dr. P.
Hey.
Ken just wrapped up and he's still hanging out on the line, and we're going to do feedback here in a minute.
Great. Then you have a break.
Mm-hmm.
And also Rob, who is coming back for the next shift. When I originally scheduled this, I thought it was going to be on campus, so I kind of worked in some lunch time right now. And so that's why the break is so long before the next one, where we'll start briefing again at 11:40.
I have 11:35. Is that wrong?
Oh. um, it's not wrong.
Okay.
What's 11? What time is it? The next one?
The next competitor would
11.
start at 11:50.
11:50.
Okay, we're together on that, so good.
Okay.
All right. If we're ready, I'll let you guys share feedback with Ken.
You want me to go first since my mic's off?
Sure.
Hey, Ken,
Hi.
pat yourself on the back. Drop a mic. That was outstanding.
Thank you so much.
No, I mean technically, that was textbook. From the intro to the objectives, the presentation, you met all the pain points. I don't really have much criticism. I would say the only critique that I would give you, when the buyer said, well, what's the catch? Did you know what she meant by that?
I assume it means like, why are we doing this? That's what I assume. I didn't, quite understand 100% that. What is the catch? What does the catch mean?
Yeah. Chelsea, what did you mean by that?
I meant, well, all this sounds too good to be true. This must be very expensive.
Mm,
So yeah, I agree. And I think like I said, I think you did everything very well. That was the only critique. And so that's pretty darn good. Just, don't assume, make sure you understand, reverse and say, hey, can you take a step back and explain what you meant by that? Because I don't know if I understand when you say there's a catch. And let the buyer explain, because maybe there's something there that we haven't uncovered that we need to know. Aside from that, you did an outstanding job. Actually, I'm going to be sending you a PO as soon as we get off this call.
thank you so much.
I liked the big chug of water at the end after it was over. That was classic.
Yeah, I was pretty nervous.
You did great.
All right, I guess I'll go next. So, Ken, if you were nervous, I couldn't really tell. I think your preparation definitely helped you not seem nervous at all to me. I absolutely could tell you put a lot of time and effort into this, and you did a phenomenal job. Looking at the scoring sheet, I'm sure you've probably seen a scoring sheet. You literally hit on every item on there, and I think you did an excellent job tying your presentation back to the needs that you identified, and you did a great job identifying those. So overall, it was a very smooth, great presentation. Don't really have much criticism at all. You overcame the objections. Maybe stop and acknowledge the objection a tiny bit more clearly, and then after you overcome it, just confirm and make sure that you've overcome it, and then move on. But you did do a great job overcoming the objections. So maybe just add a tiny bit of acknowledgement to that. But overall, excellent job.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Ken, I'm going to agree with these guys. I think you did a phenomenal job, especially in this format. It's not always the easiest to overcome, but you had a very clear and thorough agenda. You were very clear what your goals were. I really loved that you asked what the most important thing to them was. The only criticism I think I'm going to offer, and it's really a reach, is I would keep that in mind, what they said was most important when they're starting to talk about the objectives and when you're working through overcoming those. Something along the lines of, if they throw an objection, ask how that's going to correlate to what their goal is. It just might add another personal touch and really show that you're listening to what they're saying. But again, same thing that these guys are saying. You did a fantastic job. So pat yourself on the back.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Ken, and I'll just add on to that. I think you did awesome. Just from the beginning to the end, you were concerned about me, and then you said that this is going to be a partnership. There's, you don't have to be tied to us at the hip. We'll work with you. We want to be your partners. You really reassured me that you were going to be, helping my business move along, which really made me feel more safe and like I trusted you. And it helped it not sound too pitchy. And I think that you did a great job. And, nobody really had very hard criticism. So I feel the same. I'd say maybe just one thing, just slow down a little and breathe.
Yeah,
And
that's the nervous part.
Yeah, and I've been in your chair and I know exactly how you feel. And I think I couldn't tell that you were nervous other than maybe you just slow down a little bit and,
Right.
in between when we're talking and letting those pauses happen so that, maybe I'll share more of my, what I want or what I need if there's a little bit more of a pause. Kind of allows both parties to regroup and, say anything else that maybe needs to be talked about and approached. So you did an awesome job. So
Thank you. Yeah, I
you
think
can really tell you put a lot of time and practice into this. Good job.
Yeah, I think my main criticism for me is I feel like I cut you off a few times there, and I wish I didn't do that because I could have learned more about you and your business. So that was my kind of regret doing the presentation there.
That's just something that you learn in sales. It's very easy to just keep talking because you just want to say everything that you need to say and get out what your product is and all the solutions you can offer. And that's just something you learn with time and practice. So don't beat yourself up too hard. Just always remember, sometimes those awkward long silences are actually really good because it allows the other person to talk.
Thank you so much.
Okay, great feedback. Ken, are you a senior or a junior?
I'm a senior.
A senior. Oh, too bad. I'd like to have you back for the sales competition in the fall.
Yes, sir. No, I'm graduating next semester.
Oh, after the fall semester?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, you can participate in the fall sales competition that we hold, which is a bigger one, and hopefully will be on campus.
Yeah, well, hopefully there.
If Amy is willing to keep working with me, that will be C.H. Robinson again. So you'll get an invitation from me by email about that.
All right. Thank you so much.
I hope you'll be in it. Okay.
If you're trying to actually work in sales, Ken, it's definitely worth doing the competition. You'll be recruited by like a dozen companies there. So if that's what you want to do, then definitely encourage you to participate in that.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
All right. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next Thursday when we give the awards during class.
Thank you, guys. Thank you again.
All right.
Have a nice day.
So Amy, Chelsea, and Rob, we have a